Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Dana Alexa, filling in for Kara McKinney. They break in your house, stay for a little while, change the locks, move in some furniture, have mail sent to the address, and there you have it. You've officially become a landlord. We're talking about the practice of squatting. Squatters' rights is actually something we adopted from England. These laws were originally established because it was almost impossible to keep track of who owned what at a time where records were solely kept on paper. It was set up to avoid wasted space and wars, but it's no longer the 1800s. So this medieval practice has got to go, especially now. It has been misused and abused. There are people in this world intentionally doing a little house hunting, seeking out rental property nearby, and before you know it, you've become their next victim. You no longer are in charge of the very home that you have saved up and purchased. And somehow this is legal. Tonight, we're going to cover some of the most egregious squatting offenses in America today. Exhibit A, Bellevue, Washington. Residents are publicly shaming serial squatter Sang Kim for squatting in a $2 million home despite allegedly making $400,000 a year. According to the landlord, Jaskaran Singh, he's unable to get Kim out of his home, who owes them $80,000 in unpaid rent. So Sang Kim is living for free. Luckily for you, we have the tape. Roll it.
Get out. It's my house.
Just pay the rent to the guy.
I am going to, and he doesn't understand this, system here in state.
Get out, comment! Get out, comment!
How is the Korean community interpreting what's happening here?
They are not aware of this. They're usually a landlord or hardworking business people. They would never imagine a Korean descendant taking advantage of this poor, broken system like this and embarrass not only his family, but entire community. So I was chanting, if you're not going to pay, you shouldn't stay there. And I also called them out as a con man. 사기꾼. 사기꾼 means con man in Korean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide high-resolution picture of them and ask all the Korean medias to post this on their newsletter and online website and actually have him get famous. Every restaurant he goes, every Korean restaurant he goes, every Korean market he goes, so everybody recognizes him. That way, he's not only just embarrassed to move out of that place, but move out of the state once and for all.
I love it. I love watching the grassroots effort take place. So this apparently isn't the first time Sang Kim has done something like this. In fact, he's a repeat offender. He keeps doing this because he keeps getting away with it. He knows the laws just as well as the attorneys who are working the cases. But back to Mr. Kim. The landlord has done his own digging. He's even said Mr. Kim lives a lavish life, doing barbecues, buying new cars, living in the best neighborhood and sending his kids to the best schools. Then there's Singh, who's there to just foot the bill. Singh has a mortgage to pay. He has a family to feed, kids to send to college. Not to mention, Bellevue is among the most expensive cities to live in the United States. The cost of living is nearly 60% higher than the U.S. average. Thanks, progressives. So that's one episode of squatting abuse, but this next example is going to send you, and I'm certain of it. Let's go to New York City. This is Yerbin Benjamin Lozada Munoz. He's a squatter. He's also a suspected gang member from Venezuela. Yeah, he has charges of attempted murder on his record. This gang member / squatter illegally crossed over through Eagle Pass, Texas, and made his way to the Bronx. Him and 7 others took shelter in a man's basement. They never had keys to the home, of course. They just busted right in. ICE eventually detained the squatter. In the man's basement, they found 4 guns, magazines, ammunition, drugs. It could be anybody. A lazy sack of you-know-what, or an illegal invader. So will the madness stop? That is strictly up to our lawmakers.